Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to another episode of Monday Morning Grit.
Thanks for joining us.
It's another Monday, beautiful Monday.
Yeah, how's your week?
It was pretty good. I started a new job or training for a new job, so that took a lot more energy than I usually spend.
Yeah,
But it should be good. The job seems straightforward enough.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
What
Yeah.
about you?
Well, so I went to the Sounders on Wednesday. They had a first midweek match day, and was
Wait, first?
disappointed.
What do you mean first?
Uh, every match day preceding this one has been on a weekend.
Oh, okay, for this season.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
So I was disappointed, but I noticed where like the Emerald City supporters get together before they march to the game
Mm-hmm.
in Pioneer Square, the Occidental Park. That's where Weyerhaeuser's headquarters is.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that's what that building was.
Well, it's their old headquarters.
I thought it was the new one.
Oh, that's where. Oh, that's the new one.
Yeah,
Actually,
because it still has
Yeah,
it
I
still
didn't-
has Weyerhaeuser on the
on the
front of
outside.
it, and yeah.
Yeah, I think they've moved their headquarters quite a few times.
Okay, it's a really nice looking building.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very modern. It's not as like radical as like the one by where like the
By the
bonsai
freeway
go.
where you
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, that one's
It's
really
it's
cool.
not quite like that. It's a big glass box, but it looks
Well,
pretty cool.
yeah, well, it's a Fortune 500 company.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm always surprised. And then I realized there's like 500 on the Fortune 500
Yeah,
list.
so that
and
means there's 10 for every state.
yeah, and it's like it's hard to remember.
All 500.
Yeah,
How
that's
many?
why.
How many do you think you could list?
Ooh, I could probably do a good I could probably do like 200 some.
I could probably do about 210.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, sorely
Can you
disappointed.
name the Washington State ones?
Well, I know Weyerhaeuser's one.
Weyerhaeuser, there you go.
Does Boeing count, or because they moved their headquarters to Chicago, they're
Good question. I think I'll still count them.
okay? Let's see here. Amazon.
Yep.
Expeditors.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know if they are.
How about Expedia?
I don't think they are either.
Microsoft.
Microsoft, yep.
Okay. Gosh, why am I blanking?
There's another big one.
Another big one.
There's a
Oh,
couple big ones, actually. I mean, if they're on the Fortune 500, they're big.
yeah.
But, or obvious ones, I mean. What do we like to do up here, you know?
We
In the
like
in the rain.
REI.
REI. I don't think that one is one that's a co-op.
Oh. We like to
What do we like to... What's on every corner?
Starbucks.
Starbucks,
Yes,
yeah.
there we go.
And then I think T-Mobile's the last one.
T-Mobile. Yeah, they have huge offices up near, what is that, Renton? They have them by
Yeah, the big pink
right
building.
off of 405. Yeah.
I like they made it pink.
Yeah, I like that too. Friday, I went to.
The zoo?
Well, no, not this Friday. Maybe another Friday I will
Maybe
go to
next
the
Friday.
zoo. But I went to the 64th annual Chow Down of the Tacoma Propeller Club.
Oh.
So the Tacoma Propeller Club is like a professional sort of networking club and fundraising
Propellers?
club for people who have who are in the maritime industry or maritime industry adjacent.
Oh, water propellers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got you. I was thinking, prop planes and the whatnot.
So it's like an international thing, but we have a Tacoma chapter here, obviously, because we're a
Okay.
big, pretty significant port city.
Yeah.
And I went to that, and it's actually a pretty cool event. It's like this big outside, party, right?
Like how many people are you talking?
Probably 1,000, at
Oh,
least
wow.
1,000, and
1,000 people at the Tacoma Propeller Club.
and they from what I've heard, it's been sort of scaled back a bit because there were a couple years they didn't have it because of the pandemic. But pre-pandemic, I heard you could get probably 2,000 people to go.
Wow.
And
That's quite an event.
yeah, so it's for a few hours, 5 to like 9 or
Mm-hmm.
10, and the first hour there is the Foss Beer Hour. Um,
Oh,
all beers free.
wow.
Yeah,
All beer's free
you can
for the
drink as
first hour.
much beer as you want. You can go
Did
up
you see
there.
guys drinking a lot of beer?
Yeah, like going up there getting 2 or 3 cups, because they have just like this, I guess, trailer out there that has, kegs hooked up inside it, like a refrigerated trailer,
Wow.
and they just had taps and they just kept filling
Were the
cups
lines
and
long?
putting them out. Not for the beer, no. Maybe a 2-minute wait if the
Wow.
line was long, but most of the time I could just walk right up there and
How
grab a
many
beer.
beer? Who do you think? How many beers do you think the person who had the most had?
Goodness gracious, probably like 10 or 12. I
Nice.
mean, there
This
were
is an
some
event.
drunk people there. They also had like a full bar too, but for that you had to buy these things called clam bucks, which is just drink
Mm,
tickets.
easy enough.
And
You
they,
got your
but it was
fill in
like,
that first hour,
it was
as
like,
long as you showed up on time.
yeah, yeah. So a lot of people filled up on that first hour.
Were there like event type things going
Yeah,
on?
so they had live music.
Okay.
And then once 6 rolls around, that's when the chow down starts, and
Ah,
they have
hence the name of the
cod,
event.
salmon,
Ooh.
halibut, crab,
Oh yeah, it's
uh,
maritime time.
clams, oysters,
What was your
shrimps,
favorite?
prawns, octopus.
Oh yeah.
The octopus was phenomenal.
Interesting. My mom was just telling me about this Netflix documentary I was going to watch tonight about octopus, and she said in the documentary you can watch an octopus learn.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
She said it'll change your mind on eating octopus.
Yeah,
So a good thing you already had this event before you watched this documentary.
the funny thing about this event is on the back of the ticket it has like a indemnity clause, like you have to hold them harmless, right? Like
Oh,
the
what?
legal thing that basically says you can't sue us.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, like, I hope this seafood's pretty fresh, because if I get food poisoning I
Ah,
can't sue them.
yeah, right. Well, I don't think you should be able to sue over food poisoning
No,
either way.
I wonder if it was more of like somebody drank too much during the Foss Beer Hour one year, got a DUI, and tried suing the club or
Yeah,
something.
maybe.
But
Were there like event like team building
no,
or
no,
networking
it was
type
just,
things? It was just a come one, come all, have a good time.
yes, it was basically a big party,
That's
which was
awesome.
awesome. Yeah, and
Did you recognize people there? Did you
yeah,
make some new friends?
yeah. Yeah, I met a couple new like acquaintances. But it's funny because like you get these aprons, right? Everybody
Oh,
gets an apron, right?
okay.
Well, you don't want to get yourself all messy at the chow down, right?
Sure, I suppose.
And people would write their first names and then their company, but I was starting to pretend that like their company was their last name.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so it's like,
It's a good
oh,
idea.
it's John, Warehouser or something
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah, except that doesn't work as well because I actually know like, there's quite a few people who have the last name Warehouser in these parts.
Yeah.
I know there's actually a one of the higher up comics down in Portland, Caitlin Warehouser,
Okay.
but I don't think she's affiliated.
Huh. But it's some companies it works really well with
Yeah,
because it's
yeah.
like already a last name,
Anyone
like
work for Siemens?
McKinney. I didn't see any Siemens folks there,
There's a chance.
but
You never know.
some of them don't really work as well as names. Like I've never met somebody with the last name Tote
Hmm. Well, whoever invented the bag, I suppose.
or Equipment Depot.
Yeah, Equipment Depot. That's
Probably
rare. That's
probably
very rare.
not a
Few and far between. Equipment
very
Depot
hard
people.
to find last name. But
Hmm.
if you do find it, take a picture of the person and it's a collectible.
Good point.
The name collection. I just go out and every time I find a Daniel, I take a picture of them and I keep it in a folder of Daniels. I'm on Daniel 266. A
I
lot
like
of
that.
Daniels out there.
I kind of do that with James. Is I pay much more attention to people named James than if you have another kind of name.
But yeah, they had live music and some people are dancing and stuff, and then everybody danced for one song.
Hmm.
It was it's the Bruno Mars one.
24 karat gold.
No, it's Uptown Funk.
Uptown
And the
Funk.
band was like, "Oh, we finally got you all dancing," and I really wanted to be like, "Here, let me help you." At an event like this, there's a playlist on Spotify called "Songs That white people get turned to.
Mm.
You play that playlist, you're golden.
Well, but was that the objective to get the people turned?
Well, turned in like a dancing respect. I mean, we want people to drink
But it
responsibly.
was like a dancing event, or it was more supposed to
You
be
know,
like
there's a
background
dance
music?
floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a party. You know, it's a party.
Yeah.
But you know that it was
It's also
fun.
yeah.
It was fun.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yep.
Anything else this week for you?
Yeah.
Busy
So
week.
down in Chehalis, met up with other train spotters.
Oh,
An
nice.
annual meetup, and that was fun. You know the job of the railroad is to move things from point A to point B, so they don't really care what show they put on, right?
Mhm.
But you know, it was a pretty busy day by the tracks, and it was cool to meet other people that are interested in the hobby. And
Any shout outs?
um,
Like, can you name any names?
just go on to yeah, I could probably name some names, but like. Nobody listening to this podcast would know who they are.
Well,
But
why not? But we could look them up. Follow them on Instagram.
So go to the Chehalis Rail Cam on YouTube,
Mhm.
the live stream. That's where basically the community hangs out.
You can
So
find them all there.
yeah, check it out. Poke your head in and say hi.
How many people are on that live stream at any given time, you think?
At the slow times, probably 20 to 30, and then when it's like busy and kind of popping, probably like 60 or 70 watching.
Oh, okay. So slow times, what does that mean? There's nothing going on.
It's late at night, or
Late
it's
at night.
like, it's it's the middle of the workday or something like that.
that
But
makes
like,
sense.
when people are home from work and stuff, you might be watching TV, but you just pull up your laptop and let that run too. See if anything interesting
It does
goes
seem
by.
easy background, and then if you hear some noise come up, you turn your head.
Yep, exactly.
Like watching baseball.
Exactly, and it's part of a whole network of railroad live streams. I believe I've talked about before on here, but yeah, it was cool. Some people came from very far.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a gentleman flew in from the Czech Republic just to
What?
come to this event.
Are you
Yes,
serious?
just to hang out by the tracks on a Saturday.
Wow.
Because I guess he watches the camera all the time.
He watches this camera?
Yes, the Chehalis, Washington Railroad live stream, and he wanted.
And he lives in the Czech Republic.
And
Why
yeah.
did he choose that one over any of the other ones? Like, why would it be?
That's a great question. I mean, I think.
You didn't ask him? He
He
probably spoke Czech.
Yeah, he did. His English
Or
was not
Slovakian.
very, very, very good, but
but
nice guy.
Uh-huh.
Nice guy.
Well, I like trains, I suppose.
Yeah,
It makes
yeah,
you docile.
for sure, for sure. My Burlington Northern hat was a big hit.
Oh, yeah. Well, I saw you posted an image of your hat when one of the trains went by.
Yep. But yeah, that was fun. Chehalis it's only like an hour away from here, but
Did you get it? What was the train highlight?
Oh man, the one I posted, or actually the two I posted to Instagram on Sunday, the brand new, freshly painted Union Pacific locomotives were pretty cool. That, and there's a locomotive leasing company. I don't remember what their name is, but the reporting mark is CEFX, and they paint their trains blue.
Okay.
And
Like a navy blue?
no, it's like a very true blue. Like when
True
you
blue.
think blue, this is what you think.
Oh, I think a baby blue.
You think of baby blue. It's a little bit darker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Navy.
No. A little bit lighter. It's in between.
Okay, gotcha. Like a
Not
White
quite a
Claw
royal
Surge.
blue.
Like a White Claw Surge.
A little bit lighter.
A little lighter.
A little
Okay.
lighter. But yeah, saw one of those. Blue locomotives. They're at least in freight. You don't see them as often. So
Oh, yeah? What's the most common color, would you say? Orange?
around here, orange.
Yeah.
Orange for sure. Out east, I guess CSX has blue. So out east you probably see it a lot more. But out here in the west, you don't see a lot of blue locomotives.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are there any colors that they never use?
Never use. No, not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think I've seen a train like the whole thing was pink.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen like pink in like the color scheme somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think I've seen a train where the whole thing was pink.
Oh.
But
One day, maybe.
yeah, or
The
like
dreamer can dream.
there's no like lime green trains
Mm,
that I can think of.
like highlighter colors aren't as common.
Yeah, you don't really see the highlighter colors.
Well,
Um,
that's a shame. It'd be easier to see.
yeah, I guess it would. Those trains they'll sneak up on you.
Yeah, that's why they have to have such a loud horn.
Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty cool to go to. So also, unfortunately, it was the first day of the year that I wore shorts, and
Oh, first day shorts.
I'm usually
Interesting.
pretty good
Um,
about putting sunscreen on.
oh, on your lower
I
legs.
forgot my legs.
Interesting.
I'm in tremendous pain right now.
Oh,
Like it
really?
might not
Gotcha.
look like it. I'm in
Uh,
agony.
I can't see it through the pants, but
Yeah.
I usually get like I'll get like a light burn just to get like the first, but I usually catch myself pretty quick.
Hmm.
I'm probably 3 weeks in on shorts,
Wow.
although it was raining more recently, so I went
Yeah.
back and
Yeah.
we're not fully into shorts weather, but we're getting there.
But yeah. So you got anything news wise you want to
Yeah,
talk about?
well, I saw actually Macy sent this to me, and then I
Hmm.
kept seeing it around about there's a big they're going to be an Alpine coaster in Leavenworth.
Yeah.
Did you see the layout of this thing?
That thing's gonna be sick.
This thing looks crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not usually like that excited by roller coasters, but the way that it's like in the mountain made it look
Mm-hmm.
really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure what makes something an Alpine coaster other than it's in a mountain.
I think it has to be in an alpine style mountain.
Oh, what is that more jagged?
I think more jagged. Typically, there's snow at the peaks.
Ah, there we go. That makes sense. Yeah, it's the elevation is Alpine.
Yeah.
But it looked really cool, and I was like, oh, well, the amount of times that I drive to Spokane or you drive east and you have to go through Leavenworth, and it's kind of like the place to stop halfway.
Hmm.
That maybe just do a little stopover, ride a roller coaster.
Yeah. You can take the train out there.
You can take the train out there.
Yeah. That's yeah, no, that'd be pretty cool. Because like people are like, "Oh, you should check it out." It's this little like German themed town and like
Hmm.
that's cool, but I don't know if I'd go like out of my way to visit it.
Yeah,
Now
well,
it's
it's
got
nice that but the thing is, it's on your way.
yeah,
You're almost guaranteed.
yeah. I guess you're right, but now it's like now I'm gonna stop here
Hmm.
instead of
Yeah, instead of just getting some donuts at the
the
Bavarian shop.
the Flying J or
Yes,
Travel Centers of America.
exactly.
By the way, truck stops. I love truck stops.
Oh yeah. Do you like that? There's quite a few we have around here. Do you
Hmm.
have a favorite brand?
Loves.
You like the Loves?
Big.
You like taking a shower?
I haven't taken a shower at
But you
one of
like
them
the
yet.
knowing that there's an option.
I like knowing that there's an option, but like my thing about truck stops is the bathroom's always open.
Mmm.
You know,
Okay, that's
like
good.
you go to other places that like other gas stations.
You never know the state of their bath
well that
rooms.
or you like maybe you have to ask someone for a key
Yeah,
or
and it's
there's
like
a
tied to a
code
big thing.
and you gotta like buy something.
Hmm.
I don't like that. Or sometimes they don't even have one.
Yeah,
Or they're
not
probably
available to the public.
right. It's for employees only, right?
Yeah.
But truck stops, they're usually pretty clean.
We got a pretty big Loves out here in Fife.
We do, yeah.
You ever go to that one?
Of course, I go there to fill up gas all the time.
Ah, you choose that one. That's your Fife fill up.
It's pretty affordable, and it's
Yeah.
right. It's right down Port of Tacoma Road, so
Mhm.
I'm driving by it all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
I'll go to like the 76 or the Pilot right off of the Portland exit.
yep.
But because then I can also grab a box of Dutches
Ooh.
at the War Pony.
Yeah,
But I think there's probably a similar type of thing by the Loves as well.
yeah.
Do you go in and get like food ever? I think they have like
Um,
way different options than other
I
places.
think like once, yeah, it was like Godfather Pizza
Oh, so you like truck stops,
Express.
but not even for the food?
I like the fact that they exist.
Mm,
It's
gotcha.
like if you're traveling
It's a service
cross
to the community.
if you're traveling on the interstate, especially long distance, just knowing that they're there with plenty of food options,
Mhm.
bathrooms, tons of parking.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
It's pretty easy to find
No
a
matter
pump
how big
too.
your truck is.
It's
16,
just
18, 22 wheels.
yeah, it's just across the country. If I'm traveling, that's my preferred stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Love's has some weird things that they sell though. I
Yeah,
saw
like
like
what?
one had like medieval armor for sale,
Hmm.
and I was like, huh.
Like life size?
The helmet looked like you could probably put it on.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
that is pretty cool actually. Now that I think about it more, you never know what you're gonna
You
find at
never know when
Love's
you need what you need.
Love's travel centers.
Or you never know when you got a little extra money in your pocket.
Yeah,
An adventure you'd like to go on.
it's like with the money you saved on gas, just
You could have a suit of
a
armor.
suit of armor. But yeah, that Alpine coaster is gonna be pretty cool.
So that'll be a good one. I got another piece of news.
Hmm.
Our TB lady still at large. I saw it was
Oh
this
yeah,
yesterday, the 17th warrant for her arrest.
yeah,
It's like, well, all right, do 18. It doesn't seem like it's working.
yeah.
This is crazy that it's still in the news and that they like can't. They keep like pressing legal action with no
I'm
repercussions.
just like, okay. Here's the thing, like the police will beat certain people to death for allegedly using
Resisting.
counterfeit money.
Oh yeah,
But
or
if
even
somebody's
resisting arrest, right?
yeah, and but if somebody is like out there potentially spreading one of the most horrible diseases in existence.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well, we got with
how,
another
how
an
many
18th
how many
summons.
search warrants is it gonna be? If I were the
Exactly.
judge making these search warrants, like I'd just be like, "Jeez, like,
What's going on?
yeah, I'm getting carpal tunnel here." I'm like, it's like that episode of Seinfeld where Jerry's signing all those autographs.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, the one thing I do like about this saga though is I feel like now Tacoma has a villain.
Ooh, I
You
was
know,
gonna say I might be on their side now. I
really,
might have flipped over to now, and I'm like,
you're changing
yeah,
allegiances.
well, the state and the city are so incompetent, or the county, whoever's really in charge, they're so incompetent in getting this done that I'm against both sides, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're just taking like your observer status.
Exactly, and neither of the actors
Oh,
are
yeah,
good players.
you're like Switzerland.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, yeah, don't want to get involved.
I
But
don't want to get involved.
like,
It's judging from above.
I'm on the side of the city in this fight, but
Mm, of course.
I see this individual as Tacoma's villain. I feel like every city
You gotta have
needs a
somebody.
villain to rally
Yes.
like the people
Unify.
against. And just Ed Troyer, he kind of he's off the
He's a pretty
hook.
good one.
Yeah, he was a good one, but it's like
On to the next one.
yeah, my attention span's short, and this
Exactly. You need a new villain every couple of weeks.
yeah, or else people are gonna tune out of paying attention to Tacoma. We're like
Exactly.
a Saturday morning cartoon.
Gotta have another villain.
Yep.
You see anything in the news you wanted to bring up?
Oh yeah. So there's a robot at
Ooh.
Tacoma General Hospital, and
Okay.
its name is Moxie. And
Okay.
basically, what it does is
Moxie.
it has like computer learning, and it has all these sensors and stuff, and it basically goes around the hospital, and it does like menial tasks that like normally you'd have like
Oh yeah,
nurses do.
like cleaning up or.
Especially like picking up like samples and delivering them to a laboratory.
Oh, okay. I could see a
Yeah.
robot being
Or
able to accomplish that task.
or like delivering like cleaning supplies somewhere, or just like generally just moving around the hospital and
Mhm.
like taking items from point A and dropping them off to somebody at point B, right?
That's pretty good. I've also seen the ones where they have like the iPad on them, and it's like a proxy for a doctor who's out of town.
Okay.
So you just
Yeah.
put the screen, and then it's like a Segway with an iPad on the top.
Okay. Yeah. But so there's one at Tacoma General right now, and I think they're planning on 4 more,
Oh yeah,
just to help out at
That's awesome.
the hospital, especially because like
I'm in favor of that. That hopefully would lower prices.
I
Costs.
hope so, but like the other problem is
The robot cost $100 million.
well, no, but like the problem with like the healthcare system in general is I think the pandemic burnt out a lot of staff.
Oh yeah.
So like I think the
Hard to
robot
find enough
is
staff for as many sick people as there are.
I think the robot will be a good force multiplier for
Oh,
the
yeah.
existing staff, because then you're not caught up with menial tasks like delivering samples, and
Mhm.
you can focus more of your time on patient care, which frankly is the purpose of a hospital, right?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, pretty sophisticated. I think it weighs like 300 pounds too.
Huh. Is
Yeah.
it one of like the first of its kind? Like, are we ahead or are we behind in
Uh,
terms of hospital technology here?
we're ahead, I would say, nationally, but Spokane is already on its sixth robot at one of
Oof.
its hospitals, so they beat us to the punch. But like,
Imagine there's a Seattle hospital that's got 10.
not yet,
Really?
not yet.
Well,
I'm
there you go.
sure. I'm sure. You know,
Maybe at the Paul Allen
may,
Research Institute.
maybe they do have robots at other Seattle offices, but I'm talking about like I guess this specific model
All
named
right.
Moxie,
Interesting.
which it's
We're in the future.
yeah, it's just another one of like the ways in which we're seeing like AI and machine learning and
Yeah,
robotics and
take care
stuff like
of like
that.
simple
Just
tasks for us to free us up for higher purposes.
yeah, sort of automate and
I'm in
sort of
favor of it
yeah,
almost sweepingly,
yeah.
with few exceptions.
But yeah, I think
Well, that's cool.
yeah, I forget what the name of the company is, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't plan on visiting Tacoma General anytime soon, but
Yeah, not for myself at
um,
least.
at least if any of you end up visiting,
Yeah, maybe if one of my heroes gets sick, I'll go visit him.
yeah, if one of you get tuberculosis from the tuberculosis lady,
Yeah,
let me know
I'll wave outside your window.
if you got to meet Moxie. Actually, I remember in the army at
That's
Madigan.
what you get now because Russell Wilson doesn't come by anymore.
That's right. I actually remember in the Army at Madigan Army Medical Center, which is the hospital on the base. They
Hmm.
they had robots too, but they didn't have like machine learning or anything. They had to follow very specific marked paths, and they can only go back and forth.
Mm.
Whereas I feel like they were only built to carry samples. They were just like little. You ever watch Star Wars?
Yeah.
You know the little mouse droids?
Yes.
They were kind of like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but this one's bigger. It's more like human
Well,
height.
it seems
It's-
almost close to like something you'd want in an Amazon warehouse.
Yeah,
You got to imagine they're pushing that technology.
yeah. I think warehouses are going to be. It'll be very interesting to see how they automate because, and I think we've talked about this before. A warehouse, one of the limitations to it is you have to build a warehouse to fit like human ergonomics and
Hmm.
human machinery. But if you
If it's
take
all
the
robots, you can shrink it up. Maybe that
exactly.
new one in South Tacoma will be the super modern like that.
Yeah, I read
We can only
about
hope.
that, and then it's some company
We're
based
not
out
talking
of
about warehouser. We're talking about warehouses.
yeah, it's some company based out of Chicago that's building that warehouse. I forget exactly what they do, but
That's all right. We'll find out soon enough.
business is booming.
Exactly.
Business is booming. Um, Pack Avenue, if you've been out there today or tomorrow,
Today.
there's lane reductions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What
they're
are they doing?
repairing the road.
Oh well, that's good.
Yeah, which is good. So it's reduced down to one lane. So if you're
All right.
going
Well,
to
keep
down,
your eye out.
yeah, if you're going to downtown Tacoma, you might want to consider alternates
Well, I
until
guess smart. I'm sure the people will appreciate it.
at least Tuesday. Um, Also, do you like fishing by chance?
Yeah, I do. My roommate Willie just got his fishing license, and I was thinking about getting one myself.
You know the Dash Point Pier.
Yes, I do.
So it's been closed since 2021 because it's been considered
yeah.
structurally unsound. But
That's why it's closed.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
interesting.
just sort of decayed from
Yeah, I think it has signs that say no fishing,
Mhm.
trolling, or jigging.
Yeah. But anyways, the Metro Parks wants to renovate it, and on Tuesday, I think at 6:30, 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
at the center at Norpoint, they're taking sort of public suggestions as to like what does the public want to get out of the renovations. But
Oh, cool.
what's kind of cool about that spot is the water's so deep where like the pier extends all the way out. It's technically considered deep sea fishing,
Whoa,
even
really?
though you don't even need a boat
Deep sea fishing
or
off of the
deep
pier?
deep water fishing.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. Huh.
Yeah, because I mean the sound is super deep.
Oh, it's so deep that it's a deep sea.
Yeah,
Interesting. So I wonder if there's like a specific kind of fish that hang out there.
I imagine when the renovations are complete, the fishermen will be happy.
Hopefully.
You ever been squid jigging?
I have many times.
Yeah,
I actually, it's my favorite kind of fishing, I would say.
I
You gotta
I've
get the
done it.
big lamps.
I've done it once, yeah, and I enjoyed it. Because I remember driving by what is that, like Katy Downs, like that area along
Hmm.
Ruston Way,
Okay.
and seeing all these guys at night with lamps
Yeah.
in the water, and I was like, oh my goodness,
A lot of
what are, I'm
Cambodians.
like, what are they doing?
Yeah,
And
with
then
fishing
somebody's like,
vests.
they're
The squid jigging.
yeah, squid jigging.
And the jig action is kind of nice to do. And when you're when a pod comes by, you can just start snagging them.
Nice.
And then they're easy to cook and to call them. Not easy, but you just take the pen out and slice them up into rings and fry them up for calamari.
Wow.
Yeah,
Do you think squid are as smart as octopi?
I don't think quite as smart, but I
Yeah.
think they are smart.
Okay.
I think they're smarter than your average fish.
So you don't think this octopus documentary that you're gonna watch
I
is
don't.
gonna change your opinion on
No,
squid
I
jigging?
like calamari too much.
uh,
Although they both squirt ink,
they do. They
which I
do.
think is a strange trait.
Cephalopods?
Ah, now you're deeper into the knowledge than I am. I
Oh.
gotta watch the documentary and I'll get back to you on that one.
But yeah, so if you're a fisherman and you're interested, Tuesday, the center at Norpoint, it's in the evening. They're taking public feedback, so let your voice be heard.
Perfect. Well, do you got anything coming up? Do we have? Well, so that can you? So we have the. I guess we got quite a few things coming up then.
We do
I
actually.
mean, this traffic revision. We
Yeah,
got the
yeah.
the other things.
I do want to bring up something about Seattle,
Oh yeah,
because
something good.
well, last year I think it's good.
Okay,
Last
good.
year we talked about
I like good news.
how Tacoma wants to increase its tree canopy, its urban tree
Oh
canopy,
yes,
right? Because it was, I think, last summer
yeah, the 10,000 tree initiative.
we
or
were
something.
at 20% tree coverage in
Oh
the
wow,
city.
that's really.
It's the worst in the Sound.
Oh, interesting.
And Tacoma wants to be 30% by 2030. So that's how, like, yeah,
It's the worst in the sound. I
yep,
guess that would make sense.
in terms of tree canopy.
I guess I could believe it.
I mean, if you look at certain areas, especially like around the Tacoma Mall,
Oh
it's
yeah, that's true.
it's just an asphalt desert.
Hmm. Concrete jungle.
Yeah, and it's obviously not good for us, especially like
Well, yeah, for heat management or for
exactly,
irrigation purposes. And
exactly.
yeah, you need an ecosystem.
But Seattle is now considering pursuing a similar initiative to increase
Oh,
their urban tree canopy as
I think
well.
that's great.
Yeah, the only thing that the only real conflict that arises out of it is there's people want there's sort of a shortage of housing, right?
Sure.
And to build new homes, you might have to cut some trees down. So what the
Yeah, that's
ordinance
how they
is.
zone it for what kind of medians you need and your in between your streets and
Mhm.
those kinds of things. How much a development has to keep around.
So the basically it seems like in the Seattle ordinance, like if you cut down a tree over a certain diameter, you basically have to plant a new one in its place.
Oh, that makes sense.
And I mean, I guess in times that you can't do that or it's like unfeasible to do that, I think you have to pay into like some sort of fund that's
Mm.
set aside for urban tree planting.
That's interesting. I remember there was a push for that a while ago, and one of the things that was allowed or people were pushing was green roofs.
Hmm.
Did we talk about that?
I think we did, but I would like to see it.
Yeah, because it's one, you can take away the greenery, put up your house, and then put the greenery right on top.
Yeah, yeah, that would be pretty cool. That'd be a cool looking house. I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like.
Yeah, I've seen it a few different times, more than just a garden.
Yeah, yeah, no, that would be
But yeah,
excellent.
green space. It's I'm in favor of forestification or afforestation.
Mhm.
I was actually in a board meeting this week, a forestry related board meeting, and they were talking about the global supply of lumber
Mhm.
and timber and logs.
How's it looking?
And well, it's crashing dramatically because there's the beetle in
Mm.
British Columbia, and then there's another beetle in Europe,
Yeah.
and it's decimated the supply of logs.
That's
Actually,
crazy.
closer to cutting the world supply almost in half.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. And the recovery, there's not like a huge plan for the recovery.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really bad. But then I was asking like, hey, is there any places that are they're making more forests? Like
Mhm.
afforestation. I remember hearing when I was young, there were, the Africa was desertification, and so we needed to fight it.
Yeah.
And they're like, no one's really doing that. Like New
Jeez.
Zealand a little bit,
Yeah.
but like it's there's hardly any. It's much more common that it's the other way around. So yeah, not that great, but
Yeah. Yeah.
now you know.
Yeah. I mean, when I was growing up, my area in Virginia, there was some kind of beetle, and they cut down all the pine trees.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, all the pine. I mean, it looked like a war zone after all the conifers got cut out of the forest.
totally. Well, they say something that the it was like that's the problem with monoculture,
Mhm.
and it was like one beetle can then take out your whole crop for the whole country,
Yeah.
and so it's supposed to be a lesson in that kind of thing.
Y-
But
You ever heard of Dutch elm disease?
Dutch elm disease,
Mhm.
yes, I have.
Yeah. I think that. I think that was probably like America's first big lesson in like why a tree monoculture is harmful.
Okay.
And I think because of that, we learned a lot in like at least urban, tree management, right? Green spaces,
Hmm.
um, not to make it all one kind of tree. But yeah, I imagine, if you're a tree farm, it's probably easier to just plant all one type of tree.
Yeah, well, and there is an exception for like so Douglas fir naturally grows in a monoculture.
Hmm.
Like it's designed to like suffocate the sunlight from the lower canopy. So
Hmm.
Douglas fir forests are like, but because that's how it's naturally occurring, that type of monoculture is much less susceptible to those things.
Does that make Douglas fir forest like more resilient in case of wildfire too? Because there's not as much underbrush.
Yeah, I mean relative to pine, whatever the pine
Yeah.
stuff they have. What do they call that?
Um.
Pine pine sweepings or pine brush or pine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
that's
a massive blanket of needles at the
yeah.
bottom.
They call it something, and it's very flammable.
Yeah. Um. Actually, I don't know if you noticed. There's a bit of a haze over the week because of the wildfires in Alberta, and
Oh
some of
yeah.
the smoke's been blowing this way.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's not it's not like the sunset is just like bright
Oh
orange or
yeah.
something like
Sometimes
that.
they go. It's kind of cool when it's orange, but
It
you
is.
know that it's bad.
Yeah, I remember I never really dealt with wildfires before I like moved here, and I remember
Hmm.
one day I was like, that fog is really
It's
strange
crazy that
looking,
fog.
and then it came up to my place, and I was like, it smells like a campfire, and I was like, oh, that's a forest burning down, and
Yeah.
all this smoke's here now.
Yeah. It's part of the cycle.
Yeah, it is. I just hope that hopefully this fire season won't be too rough. It's been a bit dry of a winter and spring. I mean, April we caught up a bit on,
Hmm.
average rainfall, but I think I
Like
think we're
we
still
might be
below
still due
average.
a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, and those are the times we live in as well.
yeah, for sure. But Memorial Day weekend's coming up.
That's true. Do you got any Memorial Day weekend plans?
Um, I don't think I actually have any specific plans other than going to a Sounders match.
Oh, which day is the Sounders match?
It's Saturday, and
Okay.
we are
Well,
playing.
then you got Sunday and Monday all free.
playing the New York Red Bulls.
There you go. Well, that'll be a good game.
Yep. I'm hosting tonight at Tacoma Comedy Club
Oh,
for the Monday
yes.
mic.
There you go. And I hear you're also on the show on, is it on Thursday?
Thursday, the
The Not
Not
Safe
Safe
for
for
Work.
Work show.
That'll be funny. I think
Yeah.
Willie's hosting too.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Gotta get ready for that.
Gotta get dirty for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got some
Although I
dirty.
think it's more a name than people will be holding you to the title of it.
Yeah, I think so too. And as far as I'm concerned, most things that are said on a comedy stage are not safe for work.
That's an excellent point.
Like I
I
said,
wouldn't say any of these things to my HR director.
I think I talked about this before. I'd be more impressed if somebody put on a safe for work comedy show.
Oh yeah, that would be. They would have to really step between the lines.
But I don't know if you like follow this sort of rule, but for you, is Memorial Day weekend the start of summer?
Now I usually use June 4th, which is my dad's birthday.
Okay.
It's very close. Memorial Day usually is kind of rainy.
Yeah.
Although back in the day, it was when you'd go to Sasquatch, which was the big festival at the Gorge.
Oh.
And so Memorial Day was Sasquatch, and then Labor Day was Bumbershoot, and those were kind of the beginning and end of summer festivals
Gotcha.
around these parts.
Yeah, they got you ever been to Day In Day Out? That's on Labor Day weekend some years.
You know, I never have. I think that's a newer one.
I think it is too. I think because people were craving. You know,
Well, and then there's
music
also like
festivals.
Capitol Hill Block Party, which is pretty solid.
Yeah.
Festivals abound, but the biggest ones were at the beginning and end of summer.
I'm still upset that Tacoma never got.
Oh yeah, that one from last year in the summer.
Yeah, I forget.
Well, they gotta give it a round two.
Yeah,
I think they might.
Summer Sky Volume 1.
There we go, volume 2.
Yeah, we're gonna reboot it.
We'll hear about it soon.
The reboot. Yeah, that would have been fun. Tacoma needs a good music festival.
Yeah, well, I like just festivals are fun in general, whatever kind, music or cultural.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I don't think I have anything else.
I think.
To
Well,
say.
then that sounds like we should wrap it up. I think
All right.
we had a good informative session. Some very interesting topics. Some burps and farts. I'm very gaseous today, so I apologize. I haven't been avoiding the microphone, but let's say goodbye to the Gritizens, and until next Monday, keep living life like the mountains out.
Thank you.